So they have their court hearing in Philippines last 2006. Then they graduated in CFC in Asborton last 2010. Then in the help of the Vocals for Christ, they had their church meeting last 2012. So if you have not yet married in the church, don't worry. Vocals for Christ is here to help you. Our speaker for tonight is former household leader from 2016, and now it's a PFO in CFC and Asborton Rokaya, and a unit leader in CFC Asborton Rokaya from 2021 to the present. Brothers and sisters, please help me welcome our speaker for tonight, Bro Jonathan Dai.
So this the first part of the talk is like a talk show.
Talk show.
I need Boy Abunda here. Boy Abunda.
Okay. So, kumusta bro? Sis? Kumusta naman?
Tagalog. English.
Okay. So, bro, who is most likely to a family name?
My son is not here because he has a birthday.
Ito yung tatlo. Okay. Who is most likely to excel in school?
That's my son.
Thank you, Francis.
So my son is not here because it is his first day in his work in Countdown Asborton. So he's currently in training. So sorry.
Okay. Who is most likely to be afraid of spider?
My son also.
So sigurado pag I'm sure that it's
We always said to him, hey, don't be afraid of a spider. You are bigger than the spider.
yeah. Next. Who is the most likely to cry over a moment? What? What?
My wife.
Who is your most likely to forget an important event?
In that case, that's me.
Of course, bro. Yeah. Who is most likely to fail a math test?
But I can pass, but
You can pass.
I cannot answer straight.
Okay. Next. Okay. Thank you, bro.
God is good,
All the time.
and all the time,
God is good.
God is good.
Everywhere.
So I honor you, brothers and sisters, because despite our busy schedule, you managed to come over here. And how many nights already? It's been five sessions, right? Top 5. And I honor you, see what is your name? Chua. You're from Tonga. I have some friends from Tonga here. Meli, you know Meli? Meli, you know Meli, yeah. And you are? I'm from Maxwell. And you are Mark. So welcome to our community, Mark. So we are honored to hopefully we can experience good thing in our community. So my wife and I, we've been married for how many years?
17 years.
17 years. But that 17 years is not always good. Sometimes it's having ups and downs. Who has experienced ups and downs in marriage? Okay, one. Only one. Oh, 2, 3, good. So it means I'm not alone. So I remember, supposedly when I was in the university, I supposed to enter into the seminary. Because just like Father Freddy here, I thought I was called to that vocation. So I joined the Carmelites retreat in Manila, and I was really finalizing my mind. Yes, Lord, I think I'm unchosen. But then, before I graduated my university, I decided to do a search in. Like, I have to search myself if it is really my calling, if that's my calling. So I pray to God, I pray the rosary. Who among you here pray the rosary? Yeah. So I believe rosary is a very powerful tool. After a month, because that's my deadline, I told God, Lord, this day I have to deal to you. I have to make up my decision during that day if I will join the seminary or not. So in that morning, I showered, I put my best gel just like now, and then I walked into our university. And every girl I encountered, I always tell God, hey, is this the one for me? And then those ladies will just go in different direction, maybe they are not for me. The last lady that I saw is this lovely lady here. And I was begging to the Lord, Lord, please, if you're gonna give me somebody, can you please give that sexy lady to me? And then that's the time that I proved to myself that if you ask God, be specific, because He will give it to you. And see, 17 years. But that 17 years is not perfect. So, cut the story short, we got married in 2006. But after our married life, our married day is like a civil wedding. Our company the company that I worked for before went down, and I only have 5,000 pesos in my bank account. You know, in the Philippines, if you go to a wedding, they're gonna dance, like dancing, and then they put money in your dress. So we collected 5,000. Who among you have experience of one? Good. So I know there's a young couple probably here. So, and I told my wife, hey, mommy, what kind of food you are good in cooking? Because you can cook, but I can sell. So he baked pulveron and papaya, and then I put that in my bike, and then for 5 months. I was selling that one in our area, and I put also, you know, there's ice cream bar, like you have like ice cream stick. So I put that one in my bike as well, about 300 pieces each day. So I told myself, oh, it's better to sell than to become an employee, because my income every single day is more than what I earn in the company. But then, May, June, you know, in the Philippines, that time is rainy season, right? So ulan. In the Philippines, rain is called ulan. So what happened, if there's a lot of rain, people would like to buy ice cream. And the trouble is I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my motorbike, because that motorbike still, I owe a lot of money for that. And then I think time come that the motorbike, the company that led that bike, decided to take it out from us because no, there's not enough money to pay anymore. So I think that's the darkest part of our married life. No money, no motorbike. So my wife at the time, I feel like really embarrassed because he sat down in the ground and cried because that night we decided to separate because we lived in her parents' house. And you know how challenging it is to live in the parents' house of your wife. Who among you here experienced that? So hard, you have to eat the food, you have to clean the house, wash the dishes, so they will be happy. So that month we decided to, okay, we get to a boarding house, and then we tried to separate ourselves from them. But that night, same day, we thought that we can move out from that house because we have a boarding house to rent. But then, yeah, things happened. So he cried a lot, and I told her, hey, don't worry, everything will be okay. And always remember, brothers and sisters, everything you are experiencing right now, it's not permanent. It will come to pass. Amen? And then, I think that's the reason why the good Lord introduced us to the opportunity of New Zealand. And then when we came to New Zealand, I worked in the dairy farm for 6 years. And my wife also helped me in the dairy farm. Who among you here is working in the dairy farm? Yes, I think most of you. And then in 2011, we encountered the Corpus Sport Prize. And with that lovely Tito Ray and Tita Beth there, can you please stand up? I honor this two couple because this is the reason, they are the reason why I got married to the Catholic Church. My wife is not a Catholic. She was Seventh-day Adventist before. But then, because I told her, hey, you have to follow me. You don't follow me, I will turn you to your home. So I'm like dictator. But no, I want a journey that two of us will become one. But now, I'm very proud to her because before, she doesn't know how to pray rosary, but now she's really good at praying rosary. In fact, she's always the one to pray the rosary. So that's our life, brothers and sisters. It's not easy, but just hang in there. Okay? So our topic for today is about the Christian family. Who among you here have been married for 1 year only? 2 years? Huh? 2 years? 3 years? 4 years in married? 5 years? I think it's our own veterans. It's good. How about you, last couple? How many years have you been married? 30 years next week. Ah, that's good. So, congratulations. Hey. So, the good thing about being with a family, most of us, we came from a beautiful family, right? For me, it's different probably because I was born, but 2 weeks later, my parents decided to leave me in my grandparents' house. So I grew up in my grandparents. So, but here it says, love begins love, and it begins in the family. So the family is the first school in a bigger general sense. So family is the foundation of everything. Without family, I don't know. And most of our attitude are coming from the attitude of our family. That's a very sad truth. That's why, especially you young parents, you are so blessed to be in this community because I believe if you are in this community, you have a chance to have an almost perfect family. Are you ready for that, Mark? Sure, good. So, as an institution, the family is under serious attacks in many fronts. Marriages are being broken, and the traditional definition of family is being challenged. Would you agree? Yes. Lot of challenges now. Many have claimed to redefine marriage and family that causes great confusion in our society and in our world today. In almost all countries, except Philippines and Vatican City, which is the seat of our Roman Catholic Church. All of us are Catholic here, right? So did you know, brothers and sisters, that except with these two countries, the divorce is legal. New Zealand, divorce is legal, right? If I don't like her, then I can just say, hey, go home, pack up your things. In many countries, abortion and same-sex unions are recognized, accepted, and legal. In New Zealand, the same, right? Is that 2 years ago? They accepted same-sex marriage?
Same-sex marriage was earlier. They last year, was it 2 years ago, legalised abortion up to birth.
Yeah. So that's the reality of our world today. So the family is imperfect, just like what we normally do. For me, my family, both of my parents died at the early age. My dad died at 63, and my mom, I think, 65. So very early. But we have a very good memory with them. I stayed with them short time only during my university life. But in my younger age, I always model my grandparents. My granddad, he don't like to go to church. He always pray alone. He said, going to church, looking for Father credit, it's just a distraction to me. So that's what my granddad told me. Why? I said, no, sometimes the sermon is so strong, it can hurt me. So I prefer to stay in the house and pray. But for me, I told myself, I have to change this one. So, yeah, I don't know, but that's how I remember. So, Pope Francis affirmed in Amoris Laetitia, saying, I thank God that many families, which are far from considering themselves perfect, live in love, fulfill their calling, and keep moving forward, even if they fall many times. How many of you here fall many times in marriage? Okay. So, you're not alone. The Synod reflections show that there are no stereotype of the ideal family, but rather a challenging mosaic made up of many different realities with all their joys, hopes, and problems. So, yeah, just like what I experienced. Sometimes, temptation are everywhere, pressure, but hey, remember this. Most of the problem in the family start with a lack of money. Yeah, once you have this, especially in the Philippines, we are always quarreling because, hey, this is not enough. That's why we decided to go in New Zealand. I don't know, in New Zealand, maybe we don't have that kind of problem, right? Who among you here has problem with money? Oh, even in New Zealand. Yeah, because when you arrive here, it's so good. But when you start borrowing money to send money to the Philippines or to the island, then that's the time that you get in trouble. Trouble in paying those debts. So, if you are new here, try to save, not to borrow more. Unless it's emergency. Amen. So what is the plan of God to our family? So, in God's plan, the Christian family is a community of light and love. It has a mission to guard, reveal, and communicate love. So ask yourself, brothers and sisters, have you done this to your family? Like doing this mission to guard and reveal and communicate love? Always, right? From day one, not perfectly, but we are always doing our best. So each family is the home of God, and its members belong to God. It should be, right? Parents must regard their children as children of God and respect them as human persons. So the fundamental task of the family is to serve life. That's why we are here. We try to serve one another. I should have watched my Netflix movie now, but we drive here 2 hours away, Itoray a little bit 3 hours away, but because this is our challenge and we accepted it, then yeah, we serve you, brothers and sisters, wholeheartedly. And we have to actualize in history the original blessing of our Creator, that of transmitting by procreation the divine image from person to person. So it was meant to be from the very beginning. So I look at my codigo here, biblical quotation. Says here, God created mankind in His image. The image of God created them, male and female. He created them. God blessed them, and God said to them, be fertile and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. So, very easy, right? Easy to multiply, right? But sometimes, the moment our family gets too many, that's the time challenge will come. So easy to make babies. Who among you here enjoy making babies? But who among you here willing to wake up early in the morning when you have a baby? So for me, I have only one son. But that time when he was born, I was so blessed because, number one, we lived in their house. And early morning, the grandma will always carry the baby. First born of the grandkids. So I think I was so blessed. But now, we always pray for the second baby, but sometimes when I'm driving along, I was thinking, oh, can I do this? So maybe the good Lord always, I know your capacity, Jonathan, so maybe just only one. So that's why the family is. Sorry, I keep on talking. I lost my. So it was meant to be from the very beginning. So that's the thing I said. And then God intended man and woman to be one, not independent individual producing babies, but husband and wife raising the family. I have a client somewhere in Lebanon. They are both girls, but they have daughter. So I was thinking, but I did not ask them. But after the meeting, I realized, you can put an embryo to a lady, even though that's coming from different person, then you can raise that baby, and still it will become like your daughter or son, right? Yeah, that's the modern thing. But the teaching says should be from husband to wife and wife to husband. Not a clone baby and you raise it. But if you don't have any choice because you have problem in your system, then you can probably do that.
The second God's plan for the family is the family is a place for teaching children and training leaders. The family is a place to transmit wisdom and values of life. More than anything else, the academic award, achievement, those are only bonuses for them. What we can give them is the wisdom and values of life. The overall education of children is a most serious duty. And at the same time, a primary right of parents. This is not just a task or a burden, but an essential and inalienable right that parents are called to defend and of which no one may claim to deprive them. Parents have the first responsibility for the education of their children. Parents, do you agree of that? Yes, of course. They bear witness to this responsibility first by creating a home where tenderness, forgiveness, respect, fidelity, and disinterested service are the rule. Teaching is not formal, but rather comes in the everyday activities in the home. So the education of children is start in our home. Utmost importance to help mold children to grow in maturity through an outpouring of love, discipline, and education in virtues. Like what we did to our son, we train and teach him to a good person, to respect others, a good leader. Now he is one of a youth leader in our area.
God is good.
All the time.
So, the family is a domestic church. The spirituality of the family love is made up of thousands small but real gestures. One of which, for men, is to rediscover their God-given role as father. Are you ready for that, mga kapatid? Brothers. We are brothers. We have to show to the world that we are strong. We can lead our kids, right? Amen. Parents, especially the fathers, are to be the priests in their families. So father is not only alone. All of us, remember during our baptism, I know not all of you were baptized by father, but father said, you will act as a priest to your family. So that's our calling as brothers. They present God to their families by their examples of living Christianity. So it's so challenging as well because sisters, for us we are human only. So sometimes we are not perfect as a male, as a brother. But we are trying to protect our image, that because our kids will always follow. No matter how many times I teach my son in my words, he always follow my action. So that's very critical as part of being a father. So in Deuteronomy 6, chapter 6, verse 7, it says, keep repeating them to your children. Recite them when you are at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. So I'm talking about teaching our kids how to pray. So for me, the simplest way, especially if I'm tired, I always pray the rosary. And I always wanted my wife to participate and my son until it became part of our blood. Especially with my wife before, after our married life, 6 months. She always said, "You are really brainwashed with that. You have to follow me in the Seventh-day Adventist Church." But I have a lot of friends. But as a respect, I always entertain their Bible study. So they invite me some pastor, a layman from the church. But I have a friend, a priest. I have a friend who is a Catholic defender. So after the Bible study, I always call them, "Hey, I'm confused. Can you help me in here?" And everything they answer. So that's why I stick to my religion. So that's why in our family, you have to be a role model in your family, especially the way you pray, by the use of symbols. So continuation of that verse, Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 8 to 9 said, "Bind them on your arms as a sign, and let them be as a pendant on your forehead. Write them on the doorpost of your houses and on your gates." So they present their families in God by family prayer, by blessing their children. So literally, brothers and sisters, I remember the teachings of Tito Ray before. You can pray over your kids. The moment they are sick, claim it, Lord. I'm away from the doctor. You are a healer, Lord God. So I just pray over my son, my daughter. And you can do that because it's in the Bible. You can do that. The family, like the church, ought to be a place where the gospel is transmitted and from which the gospel radiates. In a family which is conscious of this mission, all the members evangelize. Remember this, brothers and sisters. All the members of your family should evangelize and are evangelized. Tonight, we are evangelizing you. But the moment you finish this course in the Sick Christian Life program, you can start evangelizing your own family, your co-workers, your neighbor, anyone that you encounter in your daily living. And it's not always using the Bible the way to evangelize. Use your attitude. Your attitude is your best asset to attract other people to become good like you. Amen?
Amen.
Are you willing to change our bad attitude to good attitude? Yes. I don't know you, but you know yourself. The parents not only communicate to the gospel to children, but their children, they can themselves receive the same gospel as deeply lived by them. As such, a family becomes the evangelizer of many other families and other neighborhood which it forms part. And I honor brothers and sisters from OAMARU because you see, you bring all this family together. So let us all clap our hands.
Why God's plan for families is not happening? First, God has lost His central place in the family. Parents no longer bring up their children in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. In Ephesians 6, chapter 6:4, "Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger by the way you treat them. Rather, bring them up with the discipline and instruction that comes from the Lord." So they look more and more to technology as a source of wisdom for raising their children. Husband and wives do not follow God's order for them. There is a confusion of rules. In Ephesians chapter 5, 22 to 25, "Wives, submit yourselves to your own husband, as you do to the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is the head of the church, His body, which He is the Savior. Now, as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit to their husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loves the church and gives Himself up for her." So their commitment is shaky. They cannot be depended on and the partners become insecure. There is too much importance given to acquiring materials, possessions, and having an easy and comfortable life.
Thank you, Mami. I remember when we, first 2 years, in New Zealand, when you are working and living here, the challenge is the first 2 years. Why? Because we are paying a lot of debts. You know, some of us, we became over here, we pay huge money to our agencies. So the first 2 years were so critical. When she came over here, I arrived August 13, 2008. And yeah, that time, that was recession, right? The exchange rate is so low, but all my salary in my farm, I think that I only have 530 per week that time, but I have to pay huge money in the Philippines. But I don't like to pay more interest, so I only borrow 6 months term. So can you imagine that one? Borrowing huge amount of money and you are willing to pay that one for 6 months? So I only have $30, $50 every week to pay for the grocery. Nothing, no fancy. I have very old car, rusty car, that every time I drove to CFC, all the people will look at me. Probably they'll say, it's good that that car still passed the book. But I don't care. Yeah, because I have a goal. So that's why when my wife arrived, I really honor you, Mom, because you are always helping me since day one in New Zealand. So she helped me milking the cows just to earn money. 1,100 cows. We just put that cows in front of her, milking morning and afternoon. Her day off is only 2 days on, 1 day off. We don't touch the shed. She is the manager of the shed, putting cups on every morning and afternoon. And I can feel her tiredness because every morning, you can even instead of hugging and making love, I cannot touch her because she's pamakaw ko sa Bisaya pa. A lot of body pain. But I respected her because she's a fighter. Sisters, are you a fighters? Yes. So that's why I salute you, ladies. And then when she arrived at the house, she will clean, she will cook. She tried to make me happy. That's the role of Europe. Ladies, sisters. So the family itself is losing its importance. The pace of modern life has become very fast. Would you agree that one? Very fast. It's a fast-paced environment. Right? Cellphone now, we can communicate face to face. Before, telegram. How many of you have experienced telegram? Pen pal, like writing paper, it will arrive to your other hub in the next couple of months. But now it's so easy. So fast-paced. And thus, it will become very difficult for lasting relationship to develop. Although it's fast, but it's so hard to develop. Like, it's always quick, you know, quick chow, mga quick na mga thing, instant, everything instant will last. Always remember that one. The culture of busyness will refill our schedule with too much, takes us away from what are essentials. Moreover, many of the family's responsibilities have been taken over by groups in societies, education in schools, livelihood in offices and factories, recreation in malls. Who among you here sometimes it's so hard to be with your kids every weekend? It's good because this is OAMARU, this is not Christchurch. If you are living in Christchurch, it's a little bit challenging because the young generation will always go to the movie, party. Here, I think it's really good here. The traditional family has become dispensable. Separations and divorces becoming easy to obtain. In the Philippines, it's it's so expensive if you want to file a divorce. But I don't know how much it costs to file a divorce. You know how much it costs? Yeah, I don't know. Because we don't have any plan, right? Good. Living is not only acceptable but has become normal. And living in, like live in. So, before we join the couples compromise, we just realized we are just living in situation. But Tita Beth and Tito Ray always encourage us, hey, we were living in sin. So that's why we are forced, we are trying to obey. So Father Lito, our parish priest in Asperton, he was the one who presented us. And brothers and sisters, from living into married life in the Catholic Church, there's a lot of blessing after that. Always remember that. So the family is under attack. Did you know that? Marriage and family life have always been under attack. But things in the recent years have reached extraordinary heights. So in 1 Peter chapter 5, it says here, keep sober and alert, because your enemy, the devil, is on the prowl like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. So I believe this community is a great help, it's a great tool for us to battle that situation. So the devil wants to break up the family and promotes many things to undermine the family, such as secularism. You know what secularism? We try to take God out of the picture because of business in our work. So, and then the question is, what can we do? What can we do to battle this one? St. John Paul exhorts, family become what you are. It is imperative that as parents, husband and wife together, we make decision to make God the center of our family. People will know that we are Christians by the love in our hearts expressed in our home. Are you ready for that, brothers and sisters? So one of the solution for that, eat together. Who among you here is always eating together? Every morning, every lunch, dinner. So I think all of you are raising your hand. So Pope Francis reminds us, as a family that hardly ever sits together or does not talk but watches television, look at the smartphone, is a barely familiar family. When children are enclosed with computer at the table or mobile phones and do not talk to each other, this is not a family. It's like a boarding house. So, from now on, brothers and sisters, when you see your kids looking at their cell phone playing, just tell them, hey, this is not a boarding house. This is a house. So, some other family, the solution is to take off the switch off the modem of the internet connection. So, eating is symbol of togetherness. I remember one time my son, I told her, hey, we strive hard to eat together, because what if you know that we only have 100 times to eat together, and you'll go to university and we cannot be together again. You're the only son that we have. We make sure that we are together always.
The second is pray together. Consecrate our family to God. Pray as a family. Father Patrick Payton reminds us the family that prays together stays together. Pray the rosary as a family. of family members, intercede for each other's needs, to celebrate the Holy Mass by attending regularly together as a family. This not only apply to young families but also to family with adult children. This is one way we pass on our Christian Catholic faith to them. So, commit to serve the Lord together through Couples for Christ, its family and social ministry, and through ANCOR. So, praying together, including the laying hands on one another for a sickness or disease, strengthen Christian families. There are the Bible basics that begin in the home. Children feel very secure when they know their parents and brothers and sisters are praying for them.
Make time for the task of building a strong family. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. So find your common time. For us, attending the Mass is one of the best things to do. Eating together outside, like we always go to Christ Church probably once a month for a family dinner. Even you are so busy, try that one. Even if you don't have money, try that one. That's the time that you can break that saving time. You have to spend a little bit. The Lord's presence dwells in a real, complete families with all their daily troubles and struggles, joy and hope. Examine your daily life to ensure that your family has enough quality time together. Be ready to reduce your other activities if necessary. Plan a regular family recreation, vacation, and other activities. Create opportunities for love to flourish. So, that's how to grow the family. Like my son, he showed quickly that he loves us. You know, by what example? By mowing our lawn. Every single week, he's trying to obey his mom to mow the lawn. So that's how good my son is. Mother, look, now understand that to fulfill your role as parents. Remember this, Father, be the pastor, provide a protector of your family. Model after Saint Joseph and his example of spiritual fatherhood to Jesus and his needed parental presence. Mothers, look to Mother Mary for inspiration, that you may be constant nurturer and life giver in your home. Light your home with unconditional love. As a family, life is a shepherding in mercy. And in conclusion, we want to share, since our son is not here, so this is our son, the audio is working.
But one of the main things we would always do is communicate and we would always ask God to fix our problems and not to screw us up. Every Sunday, we would all try to go to church together as a family, whether it is in the morning or in the afternoon. We would cancel our meetings and just go to church together. As a family, we would do so many things together, like watch movies, go on trips, or play games, and my mountains. I remember one time that my dad told me, I want us to be together as much as possible. Because one day, and very soon, we will be in those bed, and we will have a baby with him. What he said really touched me. from then on, I started to be with them and be together as a whole family. And I also started to pray and hope to be together, maybe brother and sister, and some of my friends will be alone. Because I've been the only child they've ever had. They would always tell me that I would always be their baby. Every time they say that, I get embarrassed. But now, I start to realize that I shouldn't be embarrassed by it. But instead, I should be happy and proud to be myself. Me and my OAMARU is sometime around 2009, but my dad took care of me because I was struggling to survive. But still, I struggled to survive. And it was very hard for us to feel that we were the only fathers in our area. But then helping Israel, after meeting some of the peoples, finding a good community in our church, in 2011, my dad introduced the Spirit to see us with the help of us. This also meant a it was a big community that would help us in many things. It was like a family. With the CFC and church community, we have throughout New Zealand and especially Israel. Our family brought us closer to God as individuals and as a man. And what I learned about getting closer with the family through God is when being with God and praying with God, it's always better to do it with the family. And with that, may God be praised.
Yeah, I saw the video last night and I realized, oh, my son is really grown up. Before he was just like a baby. He arrived here 2 years, and then now he can afford to say all those words. I did not coach him. It's because he is watching us grow, and the good thing is with this community, you can expect your kids will grow up as well. Like him, like us, like Mikey. You know, Mikey, when she arrived here, she's just a little baby, but now know how to play drums. Amen. So serving God is really nice one. And I leave you with this. Brothers and sisters, you only travel in this life once. And make it the most memorable part. And as my son said, it's really good. If that journey will be with you and your family together. So can you please close your eyes? Let me pray for you. So this prayer is prayer to the Holy Family. To the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, in you we contemplate the splendor of true love. To you we turn with trust. Holy Family of Nazareth, grant that our families too may be places of communion and prayer, authentic schools of the gospel, and small domestic churches. Holy Family of Nazareth, may families never again experience violence, rejection, and division. May all who have been hurt and scandalized find ready comfort and healing. Holy Family of Nazareth, make us once more mindful of the sacredness and inviolability of the family and its beauty in God's plan. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, graciously hear our prayer. Amen. And for that, may God be praised. Thank you, brothers and sisters.